Oh, we got ourselves a body part! Greetings, wonderful denizens of the interwebs. I'm Lord Acanthos. Welcome back to Massacre in Medical Bay aboard Groom Lake. We're now trying to find a way through these glass doors that are locked. Can we use the sentry gun now that's disconnected? The gun is most likely for general security, though desperate measures have been instituted to control Coca-Cola addicts in certain situations. That's a bit extreme. Okay, let's see what we can do with it. So I'm gonna pick it up. That's probably a bit heavy. Oh, is he gonna try and... literally blasting our way through. Okay. Aw, must have been a bit harsh on the old atrophied muscles there. Yeah, wow indeed. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything else on this side, so let's head on.
Warning. This area is off limits to all active PDT users. Please see your supervisor for further instructions.
That makes no sense. All PDTs. That's everyone. They must have changed security settings. Stop anyone from heading down below.
Or coming up.
No one in, no one out. A destroyed sentry gun. You try to tell yourself that you're safe for now. Hopefully, then. Okay, there are a couple of PDAs here. What flashed here? A seating. Rows of seats, all unoccupied. Yes. There's a lift in the middle. You would be happy to never see another tubular conveyance in your life. Probably at this rate. There's a lot of blood. The incandescence of the lightning strikes illuminates a grisly series of bloody splatters across the windows. I was about to say there must be windows here because we are seeing, I'm guessing, the Neptune's atmosphere's lightnings. Yeah, the atmosphere's Neptune is consuming this vessel as lightning shows the way. Okay, so we're slowly descending, I guess. Oh, we can interact with that portal there. And blood and tissue, the oozing red goop contains flecks of bone and masses of tissue. The stenciling on this door indicates that it leads to reception. We can go that way. We can also go to the bottom right. More bloodstains, more disturbing evidence of slaughter. Yep, lots of it. Okay, let's start with the PDA, shall we? Erica Boxer. Not many entries here. April 16th. That utter jerk. I cannot believe that asshole. What kind of a man dumps a girl on their anniversary? Poor Danica's in hysterics. I had to swap my shifts on account of that prick. Sadie made that easy enough. She's such a good friend to me. We were inseparable at nursing school until she decided to branch out into botany. Seems she's suited more to general medical research than patient care. That's fine. I don't mind. I prefer working with people to plants anyway. The new walkway in hydroponics is a bonus too. Some of our boys like to stretch their new limbs among the greenery. Who said that the new departments were of no use? This is selfish, I know. But damn it, I've had so much on my plate. I'm having to do serious overtime, and then ungrateful turds like Eric mean I've got even more to deal with. My poor baby sister. Body of a 30-year-old woman, mind of a 16-year-old girl. Apparently, he says being the pilot of the Ozymandias is just too much pressure on a relationship, as is that sweet little co-pilot he recently acquired. I've had it up to here with pilots. Are they ever not chasing tail? Well, tonight should be okay, as I've got Danica coming around with some of the girls and a shipment of Martian champagne. What the hell is Martian champagne? Does that refer to the space moonshine that they were making here? July 10, we instantly skipped near the end of summer. The budget increase is proving to be a blessing and a curse. We've got more equipment for sure, but nowhere near enough space for it. If only the Groom Lake was one of those modular types, we might be able to get some extra room. Sadie and I are working our butts off around here. God bless Sadie. If it wasn't for her, I'd probably be an alcoholic by now. Danica is still not over her douchebag ex and calls me up crying most nights just to talk about how she misses him. Next time I see him, I'm going to punch his lights out. I worry about Danica. She's depressed, not eating, not sleeping. I might ask Engracia? Not sure, odd name. Never heard before. To book her in for an appointment. She needs a shrink. Work-wise, the regeneration tanks are working beautifully, but the increased demand for them means we're running short of chemical dissociation reagents, and the cell growth regeneration fluid is pretty much spent. Speaking of the fluid, it's this new stuff Dr. Milan's unit has had us using. It's technically the same as the last stuff, but I'm sure the molecular composition is different. Apparently it's 4 times as effective. It seems kinda unpredictable, actually. I've already asked Dr. Harvey to request that we switch back to the old one, which he has done. Twice. Why are they ignoring us? Okay, I'm guessing these are responsible. So basically Dr. Milan, with the help of his unit, I'm guessing got these things to spread all over the ship with this more efficient fertilizer, so to speak. September 18th. Crazy huge brawl in the mess hall today. All of the guys sweating and looking like they OD'd or something. There's been a spike in violent assaults. I'd swear it has something to do with the new supplies that came in. Ever since that new regen fluid, it seems like everything else is slightly off too. I'm sure of it. Diet, medicines, genetic samples, you name it. I spoke to Sadie and she also swears there's been tampering. The idea that we've been ingesting bad food for months scares the shit out of me. I'm going to get rid of a friend. Oh man, my mind just wants to go to those places in an atmosphere like this. I'm going to get a friend of mine to analyze some samples. Until then, I'm locking my door at night. I'm not sure who I can trust. Sadie's been giving me strange looks too. I might actually change the lock. Makes me wonder, remembering that, was it Shelby? Or what was the name of the one who ate the janitor and the other guy? Oh, well, their legs, I mean, at least, that we know of. But if that was caused by whatever was spreading here, that if others did that too, or something of the sort. Okay, and then the big bada boom day. I don't care anymore, I just don't care. I have to see Danica, I have to. She's with 2 others near the hangars and I'm stuck here in medical. 2 rifles taken from Malone and Bird and a laser scalpel. That's all we have to get there. Sadie keeps fighting me on this and making excuses. She's starting to piss me off. Has that idiot forgotten where we are? That the Groom Lake is now a freaking hunting ground and my sister is in the middle of it? I don't fucking care if they don't come with me. I have to see my sister. I have to know about Danica. I heard her on the radio a day or so ago, so I know she's still alive. She has to be hiding. Danica was always better than me at hide and seek back home. It took hours to find her. Once Mom sent a search party for her, and she'd been hiding at the bottom of the garden tucked inside a dirt hole where Dad was planting beets. She's hiding. She has to be. Sadie is causing me problems. If she won't come with me, I guess I'll have to make her come along, whether she wants to or not. Hunting ground, so the people start essentially killing each other, fearing that there's something else. So did this growth? I was thinking that some people, if the growth got people's DNA or got hold of them, or even consumed them, killed them, whatever, that essentially it grew clones, fucked up clones, but clones nonetheless. But is it possible that it was instead taking people over, kind of like, you know, the Thing style? That was new. What, did you fall into Neptune or something? From L. Musgrave to Eat Boxer. Food Enhancement Report. Dear Erica, I was under the misapprehension that your request was perhaps just paranoia, but given the tests I've performed on the provided samples, well, I have to be honest, its implications are frightening. I will generally concur with your initial theory that some batches just went bad, but there is clearly much more than spoilage at work. You have to understand that when batches like this are spoiled, they are all spoiled, not just a few. A fungus, for instance, will spread through samples, but there is an astonishing difference between the samples you've sent me. Some seem to have been cultivated quite for the qualities they demonstrate. Did you know the brassica sample is enhanced with a genetically enhanced form of PCP? I know this because I tested the sample on one of my rats. The poor little thing lashed out violently, suffered a seizure, and then died. The precise name is DV8-5, a drug that was popular for enhancing the abilities of so-called remote viewers during the eugenics wars. Laboratory-created stuff. All designer, all professional. The most alarming part is that, owing to the different genetic strains seen in the 5 samples you've sent for analysis, I get the impression that these contaminants were deliberately distributed to both staff and patients. I'm not sure what lunatic would do such a thing, least of all on a long-haul lab ship, but I've already sent a request to my superiors at the Ministry to examine the matter further. On an informal note, please look after yourself, Erica. You were always my best pupil, and I'm pleased you chose to confide in me. I do apologize that it has taken so long to get back to you. Be careful. With fondest affection, Luke, Professor L.H. Musgrave, University of Tampa, Florida. Okay, so some people did figure out shit going on here. Uh-oh.
I think I found the crew.
Are they also bloodied up, like the guy on the floor?
You could say that.
Kinda.
I'm not sure how many people I'm looking at. But it's like something from a eugenics war painting.
Try to push through, John. A few decks below, one step at a time.
So this is some of the crew. Actually now, with this and the style of this windowed section here and the blood and everything that we can see whenever the lighting illuminates it, very much reminds me of Event Horizon when they first enter it and when they find the bridge. Minus the floating corpses, but... Ooh, that sounded wet. Sadie, a Calister. Okay, only a few entries. On log, September 18th. I thought that becoming the new head medical tech on this deck would actually improve things, but it's like being thrown into the lion's den. The lockdown a few months back was a pain, but these inventory discrepancies are the real problem. And then yesterday the systems went haywire. The first thing Erica does, of course, is call up her little sister to make sure she's okay. I suppose I can understand that. I just wish that, well, I wish she'd ask after me sometimes too. Yesterday, during the power outage, I was locked inside a storage room for 2 hours. But Danica's fine, of course, so who cares about me? I was only trapped in a product storage room with only plant cultures and human limbs for company. Oh, so they kept limbs in there too. Like not whole humans, just severed limbs. I took a look at them actually, it's part of my job, with the plants anyway, and I had to do something to keep my mind off things. Good specimens, all of them, except for samples 99D, E, and F. I couldn't for the life of me work out why samples this badly mutated would be permitted anywhere near the greenhouses. These are recent too. Dear God, what imbecile in shipping sent these to storage? Case hydroponics have the strictest quarantine regulations in the galaxy, punishable by losing your damn job. It must be that new section a few floors down. They've got all kinds of fools on the payroll. You know, I usually like to spend time in the greenhouses, but I swear something's going funny with some of the new crops. Erica said I'm probably just imagining it, but I had a whole batch of brassica growth cultures thrown out the other day showing signs of what looked like Dutch elm disease. How is that possible? I'm going to submit a report. How I'm supposed to explain to Dr. Milan and the board that we have mutant cultures in storage and perfectly good crops with extinct diseases is another matter. Wow. Things were really going fucked around here. Okay, this day after the big bada boom, December 20th. Erica's lost her damn mind. I'm scared out of my mind right now. She's dragged us on a fool's errand across the ship to look for Danica. I tried to tell her how I saw one of those things wearing Danica's face the other morning. Oh god, it makes me want to puke just thinking about it. It looked like a deflated balloon as it scuttled up the walls. I swear Engracia fried it with a bolt, but we can't be sure. He's a psychiatrist, not a soldier. Then again, are any of us soldiers? Erica seems to think we're in the Marine Corps, waving around that rifle with a crazy look in her eye, threatening to kill anyone who disagrees with her. Erica, I told her, you are a nurse. God, I barely recognize her anymore. What happened to my best friend? What happened to that girl from Stokely, Mississippi? I don't know who Erica Boxer is anymore. So this again would imply possible still, of course, the clone thing, but this more and more starts to imply, in my opinion, that it's something of a whatever this is, if it's the growths or if it's a bacteria or something, but or cells in general, but anyway, that takes you over instead of, you know, consuming you and then cloning you. Whatever. Okay, December 24th. Erica died this morning. My friend is gone. One of those horrific things tore her spine out of her body right in front of my eyes. I must be one of the last ones left alive. Not that I've got long. I'm infected with something, I can feel it. Okay, so guess this thing found a way to infect, maybe through spores or something. The growth, maybe the fungus, maybe it emits spores and that's how it infects you and then changes people into something. I checked out the hydroponics lab this morning. It's a wreck. I could have told them, anyone could have told them that trying to breed a new fungus to kill the old one would be disastrous. The rest of it won't budge. I've tried tearing it away with the laser scalpel Erica gave me, but it did nothing. Zip, zilch, nada. What doesn't kill it really does make it stronger. I'm going back to retrieve Erica's remains later. I know she died a crazy woman, but she was my friend. I still love her. And I'm guessing she died retrieving her remains. Or soon after. Or if she got taken over, maybe she's responsible partially for what happened here. Doubt that though, because Erica's PDA is here, which means... Yeah, maybe she came here to retrieve Erica's remains and then died here as well. That's probably what happened. Okay, notices and reports. There's one reply about personal data tags from the Dr. Raj Cooper. Or something like that. You know, for those... Ah, this is the same message. Okay. There's nothing new in this. Okay, and then emails. 2 emails from Erica, one that has been encrypted. But let's check this first. She sent to Dr. Milan about inventory anomalies. Dr. Milan, firstly, allow me to apologize for mailing you directly, but this is a classified red emergency. I've undertaken further inspections beyond samples 99 Delta, Echo and Foxtrot and found that the majority of our inventory has been compromised by tampering. There are signs that the tampering began some time ago. Some of the materials are merely spoiled, but a large quantity appears to have been illegally modified. I'm not sure who the new suppliers are, but the inventory they have provided does not match the chemical manifest included. I'm aware this is a shipping concern rather than a hydroponics one, but Project Seed is based around our successful cultivation of hyper-nutritious plants in unusual conditions. With the current stock we possess, there is no limit to the number of illegal or mutated nutrients going into our plant growth. I'd advise that shipping and medical begin more thorough inspections of the received cargo. I suspect the problems could go back for months, although I have no evidence to prove this. Please recommend immediate termination of supply runs and decontamination of irrigation pipes until this is resolved. Best regards, Sadie Calister, Hydroponics Technician Level 1. Yeah, I don't think he gave a shit, apart from probably trying to silence her, maybe. Probably just never responded. Sadie, I love you very much, sweetie, but have you lost your damn mind? Those samples are restricted. What if Dr. Milan finds out you've brought samples from out of the storage base? It's not only your job you'll be losing. I'll do what you ask, but only because you've never been wrong before. Though I pray to God you are this time. Love, Erica. Uh-huh. Okay, I guess we shall save first. And let's check the portal first. Where are you going, John? What the hell? Okay, weird. Should we try the cables on the portal? Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's check the blood and tissue. Oh, we got ourselves a body part! Yay! Okay, John, whatever bloats your goat. Not muscle tissue, that's for sure. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Into the mouth of hell we go again. So let's go here. Okay. An entrance to the medical facility.
Oh, never again. They crawled through the night and then they grafted their eyes and tore through my skin. Oh, never ever, never again. They came for our mothers and then for our kin, scratching the girls and eating their sin, changing God's work, a seed to begin. We burned them with fire and killed them with men. Let us remember, never again.
Kane Corporation, the last truly great company, wants to thank all employees for their dedication.
Holy fuck.
This year's profits are up 20%.
Very much Event Horizon vibes right now. Even more than before.
We are at the cusp.
Much more bloodstains. The flickering lights draw morbid attention to the arcs of blood staining the walls. Yep.
We will not let them down.
Arcs of blood on the arcs. So yeah, main medical deck entrance, security door here which seems to be locked. Let's see if John comments on it or contacts Tia. Nope.
Kane Corporation, the last truly great company.
Okay, there's the contours of the sleek reception desk perfectly mirror the curvature of the walls.
Across all sectors.
Oh yes, they do in fact. Yes, they do. Thought there was some symbol on the floor, but it seems to be blood.
Humanity has chosen us.
It's as if this reception chair has turned shyly away from the sight of the bloodshed nearby. Probably whoever was sitting on it did, maybe. Who knows? There's a terminal there, but nothing else it seems. Medical bay terminal. Let's try to use it. This is okay. These are again something here is capturing transmissions or it's recordings. Yeah, okay. Now we're in familiar territory. Medical bay. Nothing happens. Personal data tag detected. John Marchek. Personal data tag has no security clearance. System is locked. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna need to find, I guess, a PDT. But that's also very dangerous. So we'll check this side now then. Ooh. A force field. Charged plasma molecules dart across the surface of an invisible electrical field. These bloodstains are like an abstract painting. From one angle, it's the handiwork of something mindless and automated, but from another, these brushstrokes are angry with rage, or worse, indiscriminate and gleeful. Makes me wonder if there have been turrets here too responsible for the slaughter. Oh, and we can continue further down right. Seem to have some medical equipment, I guess, there. Bloodstained environmental suits. Although they are saturated with human ichor, the suits are in working order. These suits look relatively intact despite the new decorations spattering their surface. Yeah, they got a whole new design. You can't begin to estimate how many
Serotonergic receptors are present in your principal vascular system.
lives were ended here. Okay, but what does that... Oh god, I guess we're gonna go do surgery on ourselves to take our PDT out, maybe? The icon is a bit different. Let's see the force field. Or can we die? What the hell? Let's see. Okay. We have differently colored tanks. Okay, anesthetic. Okay, yeah, different tanks. We'll look at those in a moment. Surgical pod base, lots of surgical equipment. This has clearly been a surgeon's office, so to speak. Okay, there's medical machinery. Unlike much of the other machinery, this terminal was designed to assist in healing. One would hope so, at least. Oh.
I'm back. It's been cut open.
Of course! They must have manually removed the PDTs. That's why the security systems were reset in medical.
Oh, bodies. The bodies in the crew quarters. They were skinned. The creatures were using the PDTs to move through secure areas.
They must have realized what was going on.
So for me to get to the lower decks...
You have to remove your tag.
Remove?
Perhaps electric shock. No, that wouldn't work. John? This is the only surefire way.
Oh man.
What are you saying?
The surgery pod should already be programmed to remove it.
It didn't work out so well for this poor woman.
It's the only way, unless you space jump between decks.
This is surgery.
John, prep the pod.
Oh joy. So, like, at the very beginning of the game with that surgical tool, the robotic arm that had the neural drill, I was wondering if we're gonna end up doing surgery on ourselves. Didn't guess I'd actually be right, just very, very delayedly so. Oh boy, whether beneficiary or victim, this is where the surgery patients lie. Yes. A high-end surgery pod sophisticated enough to perform nearly any operation with a tiny margin for error. Yeah, even tiny is quite a lot in some cases when it comes to surgery. A call to rest, to sleep, to forget your woes and worries. On this discarded hospital bed that's just dumped behind these plastic surgical curtains. A modesty curtain. Takes you a few moments, but the joke hits hard. Yes. Okay, there's anesthetic storage on the purple one. In a surgery suite, at least one of these would be anesthetic. Your guess is that it's this one. Oh, it's a guess. Oh, great. Okay, and green one is cryopreservation tank. This thick, viscous syrup is a cocktail of cryoprotectant and synthetic amniotic fluids. Then an oxygen storage tank. This steel tank stores oxygen-rich compounds under high pressure. Oh, there is a fourth one, which is red. Organic receptacle, a protein and fat storage container. Yummer. And yes, some sort of switches or vents, whatever for them. There is an extracted PDT. Several bent spinal hooks protrude from a disengaged personal data tag. And a PDA so we can read up on whose it was. Though potentially this woman's... Okay, let's check the PDA first. So we'll maybe get... Oh, this is the Dr. Arash Cooper or something like that. Maybe we can get some hints on how to perform that surgery. Exactly, or what it will exactly entail. January 8th. A new year for the chief surgeon and a new year for the staff of the medical deck. I have to think of it that way or it gets rather confusing. The staff of the medical deck now consists of 3 extra sections: cybernetics, tissue regeneration, and for some reason medicinal hydroponics. Yes, it may be medicinal, but as I told Dr. Milan, they are still plants. I don't wish to seem ungrateful. It is Kane Corporation who opened so many new doorways for me and who redefined the frontiers of medicine for us all. As a man who served his apprenticeship on the battlefields elbow deep in the blood of innocents, to see those deserts and war-torn villages reborn as images of Nirvana is a privilege, and all thanks to the sciences of Kane. And yet, it's hard to understand why, on the Groom Lake, so many departments are being forced to share resources like this. I hear our budget will be up for review soon, and the chances of us getting an increase are slim. I shall try to remain positive. Yeah, I probably didn't want too much staying positive. Oh, wow. On the other hand, maybe it did. February 18th. My goodness, a 300% budget increase. I have not yet been able to even imagine how helpful this financial windfall will be. Yeah, thing is, it was probably more towards that medicinal hydroponics stuff. Dr. Milan assured me that a sizable portion of this budget will be applied to Project Seed. It makes our work that much more essential. We'll order new equipment and new samples, although I don't totally agree with the ethics of Dr. Milan's acquisition of volunteers for surgery and testing. The leaps and bounds we've made in our research more make up for the rest of it. Is it wrong that we must test the limits of morality for the greater good? I mean, yes, probably. May 4th. I'm a surgeon who has seen so many awful things in the blood-soaked abattoirs of the Pangea Wars. So perhaps this should be second nature to me. But I don't recall agreeing to the use of children for testing. I went to inspect the stasis tubes at the request of my chief nurse and found that there were several children, some as young as 9 years old, awaiting processing. Children? I was shocked and appalled and demanded an explanation from Dr. Milan. Edward Jenner had to test vaccines on children to see if they'd work, he said. I knew the story. What medical does not? Jenner injected infected purulent exudates into the child's arm, which must have seemed callous disregard for the child's life. And yet it saved the boy. That is how he convinced me. We are at the frontier of the sciences. Chances must be taken. I do not always feel comfortable with his ethical choices, but his logic is sound. The research is too valuable for us to let a few moral qualms get in our way. Well, he was easy to brainwash. But then again, that means the tendency for this was already there. I mean, he did speculate earlier anyway, by himself. So, not surprising, really. December 17th. I fear that my decision to become a surgeon with Kane Corporation is not quite simple as I thought. The first casualties of the infection spreading across the ship came to my lab, where we had to set up a quarantined operating room. I had to get hands-on with a patient for the first time in years. The flow of blood, the cutting of infected tissue using my specialized tools. God forgive me, but I enjoyed it. It's impossible to explain the adrenaline rush from playing God in such a way, of having the lives of so many on the verge of death in your hands. I felt it on the battlefields, and I feel it now. It is not the beauty of birth that moves me, it seems, but the pungent stench of death. I thought I'd joined Kane Corporation to save my soul. Instead, it is to slake the thirst of the beast in me, whose jaws slaver at the scent of blood. I am ashamed. You don't sound very ashamed. But... December 20th. How could I not have seen it? Those awful life forms are disguising themselves as us, inside us. They wear our skins and our PDTs, which explains how the security systems cannot detect them. If I didn't already know where those creatures came from, this would perhaps be less frightening. But they've learned, the vile abominations. Abomination. What a word that is. It appears to summarize what we, have created in our hubris. We have created evil. God help us all. Too late to beg for help, after you've already chosen your path. Let's see emails. Dr. C. Backman to Raj Cooper, analysis report. Dr. Milan has recalibrated his guidelines for subjects in Project Seed. and specifically the requirements for any female subjects who have previously been pregnant. The female subjects should ideally have been screened, but their precise source is not important. Since the project has a 99.89% chance of a non-fatal reaction in subjects, members of staff will be eligible for this test. The ideal subject is as follows. Blood type O negative, height between 5'5" and 6, free of any genetic defects, age between 18 and 40, subjects must have recently been pregnant, ideally within the past year. Wow. That's really fresh pregnancy. Or birth, rather, would be, I guess, more correct. Anyway, the nurse. Oh, this Rush Cooper sent to Milan. We have disagreed often, but never so more than now. I'm aware that Miss Calister doesn't work in surgery and that Chief Nurse Boxer has seniority in terms of rank. However, Calister has one of the most extraordinary organizational minds I've ever worked with. The product storage areas are clean and well indexed. Therefore, I have to challenge your demand that I remove her from her position because of these false reports she has been sending you about anomalies in the supplies. I have no doubt that your claims of her illicitly taking samples is also only an accusation. She is a fine worker and reports only what she feels is right. I'll be taking no action against her. You are in charge of the project, but you must allow me to choose my staff at my own discretion. Regards, Isaiah. Okay. So he kept her around, essentially. Even though Milan wanted to get rid of her. Let's check this extracted PDT now then. Okay, we have one. Question is, if we're going to remove ours, why don't we just take our own? Okay, well, we're gonna have to figure out the correct order, I think, probably, for all this. Oh, now we can see the stainless surgical tray. It bears a faint splatter of biological tissue across its surface. Yes, that's where the PDT was. We can't use the surgical pod here directly. So, folks, this is where we shall end today's episode. And when we return, we shall be conducting surgery on ourselves. I can't wait to hear what grotesque sound effects will be included during that sequence, because thus far I really like all the shall we say gore and tissue etc. related sound effects that the game has had. They sound very wet and crunchy and delightful. But I hope you'll join me in that grotesque act of self-mutilation next time on this same channel. As always, thanks for watching, hoping you have a great day and or night. See you next video.